Update. Am I the a-hole for laughing when my brother-in-law was berating my little sister? Original post. For some background, my parents have 3 kids. Maya, 29 female, me 28 male, and Sally, 26 female. The problem is Sally. When she was born, she had some form of medical condition which led doctors to believe that she won't survive at all. But my parents never gave up. They spent money and time for her treatment, and miracle happened. Since then, they have cuddled Sally to death. Sally always had to have good things, while I mostly got my sister's hand-me-downs, which I didn't mind, but it sucks that I was the forever neglected middle child. But my sister Maya took most of it. Maya was the oldest and the scapegoat, and for some weird reasons, Sally was always in competition with her, and I am sure my parents also pitted them against each other too. Maya was always supposed to behave and never complain, while Sally was a brat. If Maya had a dollhouse, Sally had a bigger dollhouse. If Maya did something good, my parents would just say, "Good job," and go on about their life. But if Sally even won a participation trophy, they would basically throw a party. Since then, Maya has been walking on eggshells around my parents. She would always be grounded, and we cannot even complain that Sally has been bullying us because she is a special child. Sally was also awful towards me. She would often mistreat me and even steal my stuff, and my parents won't do anything. And like I mentioned, Sally was always in competition with Maya. If Maya wanted to participate in music, she would too. I remember Maya saying in high school that she has a crush. And what does Sally do? Make out with that crush in front of Maya. My parents didn't even save enough for college for either of us. But luckily for Maya, she got on a scholarship while I had to take out a loan. The last straw for Maya was when she was dating this guy in college. We'll call it Douche. She brought him home when they were on vacation, and she caught Sally and him doing it in the basement. It was a crap storm. My parents did berate Sally, but after a few days, they were like, "Hey, what happened just happened. It will be wrong to separate these lovebirds." That was it for Maya. She screamed at them that she has endured their abuse for all these years, but not anymore, and cut off contact. There was a lot of tension, and some of my uncles and aunts were divided, while Sally was just as shameless as she was and went on to date Maya's ex. Maya eventually got over it and met a nice guy and got married. She did invite our parents, but not Sally. My parents didn't go, but I did. And now she's currently pregnant with her first child. My parents reached out to her, and although Maya was skeptical, she agreed to reconcile. So, our family has this big dinner once a year at their place, where all the relatives and cousins are invited. Maya came along with her husband, Adam. Sally was also there with her husband, Maya's ex. And throughout the evening, I noticed Sally tried to be closer to Adam, but he would just shove her off. When it was time for dinner, my parents made a toast, then Sally stood up and said that she was so lucky to be here, and that she almost died when she was young. Barf. She then redirected to Maya and said, "Sis, I know it must be hard for you because your ex is now my husband, but thanks for the blessing. I know it must be hard for you to be here knowing how hard it was for you to compete with me, but I applaud your bravery." This was the moment Adam stood up and shouted at Sally, saying how dare she insult his wife. Who the heck does she think she is? Then the word vomit started, and I'm just paraphrasing it. You think you are so special because you were a miracle baby. Guess what? I was a miracle baby too, but I don't complain about it like you do. You are such a pathetic woman that the only achievement in your life you have is something that was accidental. What else do you have to show for? Everything you have was basically borrowed from my wife, even your pathetic husband who spent the entire evening hitting on every female cousin in this room. You are so annoying, even your husband doesn't like you. You know what the truth is? You have nothing, and you are nothing. You are so shameless and pathetic that you try to hit on me. You already got her ex, and now you want her husband? I would rather die than be with a woman like you, whose personality is worth of a paper bag. You have always been jealous of my wife, because you always knew you would never be as amazing as she is. That's why you stole from her, because that's the only way you could have what she has. There was more, but it was so brutal that Sally was in tears. My parents and relatives were shocked. My parents then told Maya, "Well, aren't you going to do anything?" Maya just said no and left with her husband. Honestly, even my cousins were silent. I knew no one liked Sally. I, on the other hand, was laughing behind my wine glass. My mom noticed and said I'm an a-hole for laughing at my sister's misery. It has been over a week when this happened. The video of Adam's rant was circulating in our cousin's GC, and I still laugh at it. I've been low contact with them ever since, but they are getting a lot of crap for Sally. So am I the a-hole? Edit. Guys, please stop asking me for the video. I want to protect the privacy of my family. I even used fake names for that reason. I can't give you the audio as well because in my book it is a breach of privacy. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole. Sounds like someone needed to say it. Does not sound like she is a remotely good person. She made her entire personality to be a miracle baby. How sad it is when you peak at birth. You get what you give, not the a-hole. Loving your brother-in-law standing up for your sister like that. Brother-in-law knows the kind of treatment Maya had to go through. She would cry often. My brother-in-law also had a rough childhood, and they are both in therapy. I think you should be awarded for not cheering and applauding. Buy brother-in-law beer. He deserves it. Not the a-hole. I should buy him dinner because his anger was on behalf of not just my sister, but also me and other cousins who are fed up of her nonsense. Please keep us updated. Well, the update I can give you right now is that my uncle, my aunt, and every other family member who was present has berated my mom and dad too for letting it go this far. My mom and dad has blown up Maya's phone, that her husband made them look bad. Maya just texted them, well, that's cause you guys are bad. So bad that right now, no one is supporting you. Good luck hiding behind Sally. But I will visit her soon, so let's see. Now for the first update. I don't know if people will see this, but I do have a little update. I went to see my sister, Maya, and her husband today. I talked to her and asked her if she was okay, as I haven't got a chance to reach out to her after the dinner. She said she was fine, and that mom and dad has been demanding they apologize to Sally. Barf. She blocked them, because why should they apologize for the truth? They also got the support from the group chat. A lot of our cousins' parents were unaware of the incident of Sally and all the bullying. They thought since she was a miracle baby, she would be an angel. I also apologized to my brother-in-law Adam for what happened. He said sorry back because he lost his cool. He also had really toxic parents, and he basically projected his own anger on Sally. I told him it was fine, and even our cousins enjoyed it. They are making fun of Sally, and he is practically their hero right now. And as for my parents, well, they are still in denial. But I don't care anymore. They have gone too far. I mean, even a stranger sees through their BS. Yet they refuse to see the truth. They are getting a lot of heat from everyone, especially Grandma, Mom's mom, because our grandpa left her for another woman, so she takes it a big offense. Apparently, my parents lied to her about Sally's husband. They said Maya and him used to date, but broke up. I will give a full update, but right now the cousins and uncles and aunts are divided among themselves. I am really disappointed in our parents, and I hope Sally takes care of them when they are really old, because they obviously lost 2 of their kids. Sally won't take care of them. Sally will stick them in some crappy nursing home, and frankly, they'll deserve it. Brother-in-law is right. Sally had a sad life, with no accomplishments other than having survived a disease. Thank you for the updates, OB. I think you give Sally too much credit. She'll likely abandon them and they will reach out to OP and OP's sister to let them stay with them or help pay for their expenses. I'm glad you and Maya can support each other despite your parents' awful parenting. I'll guess Sally will reach out once things calm down, or in a few years playing victim and how none of this is her fault, and place all the blame on her parents. Your parents will reap what they sow at the end of their lives. By the way, good for brother-in-law for standing up to them. Your sister found a great person to end up with. Better than douche. Best wishes. Sending peace, love, abundance, and blessings to you, your sister, and your supportive family members. I am sorry you had and continue to have to deal with parents who are so dismissive and oblivious that turn abusive in nature towards you and your older sister. Mom probably knew Grandma would disown Sally. Wouldn't mind more updates. Thank you for sharing with us, and again, blessings. Update 2. Sorry for the late update, guys, but I do have one for you. Well, after I talked to Adam, he called me a few days later to ask me if I could speak to him. So I met him at his house. He made some excuses to Maya and took me someplace private. Then pulled out his phone and told me that Sally has been texting him nonstop, though he ignores her and has already blocked 3 of her accounts. The text ranges from, sorry, please talk to me, bashing Maya, calling him unworthy, then some dirty text and also provocative photos with captions, I can do it better than Maya, you know. Adam was sick of it, but I was furious. Does she have no shame? I said enough is enough. My parents need to see what kind of person Maya is. So I arranged a meeting with my parents. We didn't tell Maya because she's already pregnant. We do not want to stress her further. We sat with our parents, and before I could speak, Adam cursed right at the sight of my sister and started calling her a harlot. I asked him to calm down, and our parents are furious. But I told them they should control their miracle child because she's acting crazy, that she has been sending inappropriate messages to Adam. My parents obviously didn't believe it, so I showed them the proof and they acted like they are disgusted. Sally kept saying it is a fake account, that someone is trying to defame her. Well, Douche, Sally's husband, forcefully took her phone and discovered the messages. He was screaming and shouting at her that she curled in a ball. Douche then looked at our parents and said that, "You raised a pathetic." I also personally grilled my parents and told them they are failures. They always prioritize their golden child over the other kids. Where was their concern when their other daughter was betrayed? Would they have done the same if Sally's boyfriend was cheating on her with Maya? They have enabled Sally so much that she has become an entitled brat. They should know almost everyone in the family hates her and sick of her. Adam told them they should be ashamed of the brat they raised. They are bad parents who failed to teach morality to their child, and that is why she's after her sister. And he said, "Look at her. Can you honestly say that you are proud of your daughter? Are you proud that she is a home wrecker? Are you proud that nobody loves her and that they need to get off their high horses?" My parents didn't say anything. Lastly, I told them to get lost because me and Maya will be cutting them off. Don't even bother calling us. Their whole life they have invested in their bratty child, so they should just ask for her help when they are old. I am done with them. That is when my mom started crying, saying it is really unfair, as the whole family is shunning them. I looked at them and said, "And whose fault is that?" My dad looked pretty much defeated. I bet there were other members of the family that grilled them too and threatened to cut them off because of Sally. So yeah, that's it. Nothing big. I don't think they will learn their lesson though, but who cares? And like you guys suggested, I took Adam to a steakhouse and treated him with a fine steak. I also ordered one of those custom trophies, like you guys said, that has "World's Sassiest Brother-in-Law" written in it. Adam threatened Sally with police, so no more messages from her till now. And I have decided that I will get a place closer to Maya because she does need help from someone in the family. So that's all, folks. Reading first post, that's a sick burn. Reading updates, someone should have stuck a fork in Sally 15 minutes ago because that bird's done to a crisp. Damn, if time traveling was possible, I would go back in time, make sure I was dating Opie, so I could have front row seats for that verbal smackdown. Wow. Amateur, date the mother, because dad sure wouldn't care. Nah, hard pass. I have standards. I'm fairly certain I've read a similar story on here where the premise started with a medical miracle baby who slept with her sister's husband. The stepsister who survived cancer, right? I wonder how that Opie's doing. Last story. Am I the a-hole for calling my older sister a bully and saying she knows our younger sister isn't intentionally saying her daughter's name differently? I am the middle child of 3 girls. Older sister is Kate, 29 female, then me 27 female, and then our younger sister Amy, 26 female. Kate and I had a good relationship as kids, and so did Amy and I. But Kate always disliked Amy. I believe part of the reason is she felt embarrassed of Amy's speech issues. Amy has had trouble with her speech since she was a child. Some sounds she cannot make the same. Some she is trying, but they come out differently than others would say them. Her own name is actually an example. She says it like an Amy instead of Amy, when we always said it was Amy. She did speech therapy as a kid, and she had an IEP in school, but her speech issues never fully went away. This was always something Kate hated, and she hated hearing Amy talk. I always told Kate it wasn't Amy's fault, but Kate was just never fond of Amy. I don't want to say she hates Amy, but it sure did seem that way at times. Kate had her first baby a few weeks ago, and Amy has a very difficult time saying her name. It doesn't sound the same when she says it, but clearly she is trying. And I know she's self-conscious of it, so she tries not to say the name. She told me it's not like she will be allowed to be much of an aunt anyway, since Kate never liked her. We were at our parents' house over the weekend, and at some point Amy said our niece's name. Kate got super irritated with her that she didn't say it right. She told her it was why she never liked her, She was always rude and couldn't even put the effort into saying names right. And how glad she is she won't be around her daughter much to influence her. And who knows, maybe she just won't know who she is at all. She would be happier that way. Amy was so upset, and I was so mad at Kate. I told her she is such a bully to Amy, and she knows Amy isn't intentionally saying the name wrong. She can't help it. I told her she should be more understanding and less of a bully. Kate could not believe I was so harsh. She also couldn't believe I would side with Amy over her. I don't feel bad for defending Amy, but maybe I went too far. Kate said so. She told me she would never have called me a bully no matter what, and that I had chosen a side which was wrong. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Kate's a bully 100%. No one wants to live life with speech problems, so it's not like Amy's doing this to spite her. She needs to chill. Yeah, it's not like she's adopting some weird accent for fun and giggles. This is a serious impediment she has to struggle through because the world outside is harsh. At the very least, her family should be a safe space. Not the a-hole. Always stand up to bullies. It's not like Amy's doing this to spite her. I kind of wonder if Kate chose the name knowing her sister would be unable to pronounce it correctly. My acquaintances were going to name their kid Aurora, but after thinking on it, they realized that no one in New England was going to pronounce all those R's properly. Kate sounds like one of those mean girls whose meanness stems from a great deal of personal insecurity, combined with the need to control everything around her. Not the a-hole. You're 100% correct in what you told Kate. The fact Amy can't even say her own name like you all do is proof. Amy is amazing for even trying to have a relationship with Kate after years of this behavior, and even recognized that she wouldn't see her niece because of Kate's issues. Where are your parents defending their youngest daughter?